Hello Year 9. I am going to talk to you today about why you should consider Edexcel iGCSE as one of your options. It is a fantastic option to choose, and today I'm going to talk about all the reasons why. I'm also going to tell you about what it involves. We do the fine art endorsement, and I will also talk about what that means, and it is graded 1 to 9, with 9 being the highest grade, which is the equivalent of an A star, and 1 being the lowest grade, which would be a fail. It makes no difference to when you're applying to university or when you're applying to any school or college for sixth form. It is just simply another way of expressing the same grades. So today I'm going to explain to you about the requirements of Edexcel iGCSE in art and design, and you're going to know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, a bit about the timeline that we work to, how you'll be assessed and what kind of skills you'll need. I'll also talk a bit about where studying art and design could take you in the future. So we do the fine art endorsement. That means that it is art to communicate aesthetics or ideas. So it's not making art for a particular purpose or to sell or a product that can be used. It's to show personal experience and an emotion, express things that you're interested in. So it's a really great subject if you have lots of passions, interests, and you want to be able to explore them in more depth. You get to choose the kind of things that you look at, the kind of artists you study, and the kind of art you make. So really great way to express yourself and your interests. We will teach you many different art skills. So the kind of things that we cover in fine art are drawing, all kinds of different ways of drawing. Digital media can be used as well, and we do have Procreate and Photoshop, and you will be taught how to use those. We do lots of mixed media pieces where we combine different art techniques to make really interesting effects. Printing and different painting techniques. You can see the big list on there, and they will all be covered in iGCSE. In communicating your ideas, you need to use what we call the formal elements and the design principles. And this is like a language that you will learn through the study of fine art, and it will help you express the things that you want to express. So we do cover these in Key Stage 3, and so I'm sure you'll be familiar with the formal elements: line, shape, colour, value, form, texture and space. And then as we progress into iGCSE, we think more about the design principles and how we can achieve these through our use of the formal elements. The components that you will study. So we will do a personal portfolio unit, which is a project where you get to choose one of 5 themes. You will create 3 A2 sheets of supporting studies, which is like preparation and practice, experimentation, that helps you progress towards a final idea. Then you will create a final piece. It is normally A2. You can work bigger and you can work in 3D. If you were to do that, we would photograph that to send to the exam board, and that forms 50% of your iGCSE. So it's 50% coursework, which is done in lesson time, and there is no time limit on how much you can put into it, which is a really great way to secure yourself a really good 50%. Because you will have lots of input from the teacher, lots of guidance, lots of feedback, and plenty of time to make sure you create the work in a way that you're happy with. Then component 2 is an externally set assignment. There is one theme which is actually chosen by Edexcel, and they release that in the January of your year 11. And you again must make 3 sheets of supporting studies. And the difference between component 1 and component 2, and the reason it's called the exam unit, is that you will then have a 10-hour exam in which to complete your final piece. Now this is really different to any other exam that you'll do, because you will have prepared, you will know exactly what you're going to make in that exam, you will have a plan, and you'll have practiced it already. So then you just come in for the 2 days in which we do the exam. We do 5 hours on the first day, 5 hours on the second day. And during that time, you know what you're doing. It's just a case of getting it done and having that time to get a really good final piece made. That is the other 50% of your IGCSE. So for those of you who don't like the pressure of going into an exam hall and having to remember lots of information, it is a perfect subject because you are doing it all in class and for homework, and then just having that 10-hour exam at the end, which you've already prepared for. There's no surprises in IGCSE Art. You know exactly what's coming, and you can manage your time to make sure you do it in a way that you're really happy with. You get marked on 4 assessment criteria. Essentially, those are developing your ideas, refining your work, recording observations, and presenting a meaningful response at the end. So this is the whole process of researching, developing, refining, and making a final piece. And you get graded on your ability, your holistic ability to do that throughout your 2 projects. We do begin in year 10 with a practice project, which does not get sent to the exam board. You'll be given a grade by me using the exam board's assessment criteria. And during that, we will build lots of skills. We will learn how to do lots of different drawing techniques, printing techniques, how to paint with different media, and some photography, some sculpture, so that you get a good taste of all the different kinds of art medium that you could use when you get to your coursework. There is the mark sheet that you would be assessed on, and as you can see, it is for the 4, on this side, the 4 assessment objectives, and then you would get a level 1 up to a level 6 for each of those, and then your grade comes from how well you have done that in each of those over the 2 projects. There are many, many jobs that you could do if you pursue visual art. So you can read them all on there. Things such as graphic designer or illustrator, animator, but also many careers in fashion and textiles, visual merchandising, so branding, working in very commercial sectors, working in film and other types of media, games, storyboarding, as well as, of course, just being a fine artist. But the reality is, most people don't make a living from being a fine artist. Some people do, but there are many different ways that you can use your creative skills in other jobs as well. So I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of the IGCSE work. This is just a really good illustration of how you work on the boards where you develop an idea. So you can see here this student, she explored her idea around dolls and different compositions. She's taken photos, she's edited them, she's tried using different media, so coloured pencils, pastels, paints, pencils, to see what works best. So those development boards are all about exploring and refining. And then on the right there, you can see her final piece was a painting in the end, because she found that she was most comfortable with painting. And as you can see, she created something very effective and atmospheric through all of her development. Again, here's another one. This student wanted to explore issues to do with pollution, sustainability, and you can see the final piece on the right, a really nice composition with 2 different styles going on, a more comic book style in the foreground and a more realistic style in the background. And this was not the idea she had at the beginning. She had started by exploring trash and combining trash with different things to make a comment about things that we throw away. She had explored different compositions. On the left, you can see that she tried some different ideas, which are very different to her final piece. So art students, the kind of skills that they need are, of course, creativity. So to be able to generate lots of ideas and not just stick to the first idea that they come up with. And we will help you with that. We will help you with strategies of how you can be more creative. of course, technical proficiency. So you will get the highest grades if you are able to do the skills really well. And with that comes a lot of practice and resilience as well, because often things are not easy at the beginning and you need to keep practicing your drawing skills, practicing your painting. Attention to detail, so noticing what can be improved and actually having that self-motivation to keep improving. Visual communication, so if you are someone who finds it very easy to convey your ideas through images, then this is a great subject for you. If you are not very good at doing that yet, but you would like to learn how, then we will of course be supporting you in learning how to do that. Critical thinking is very important as well, because you do need to analyze and evaluate and interpret other people's art. So being able to give an interpretation about what you think an artist may be trying to say, considering feelings, emotions and context, is really important. And the most important one, I would say, is enthusiasm and passion, because realistically, most students come to us not being able to do all of these things at the beginning of year 10. But if they are really passionate about art, they enjoy it, and they're willing to put in the time, then they will develop those skills over the 2 years. Art is a very time-consuming subject. If you speak to any of the current year 10, 11 students now, they will tell you it does take a lot of their time, but it's also enjoyable because you are sitting at home and you are working on a painting. And if you're someone that enjoys art, that should be something that you quite enjoy doing. I think it's really important to think about how art could be balanced with your other subjects. If you're doing a lot of essay-based subjects or knowledge recall based subjects, art is a really nice subject, because it will be something very different and you'll be using your brain in a different way, and in a way it can almost be like a rest from those other subjects and a chance to express yourself and be creative and enjoy yourself as well. So I really hope to see lots of you in our year 10 class next year, and if you have any questions about IGCSE, please come and speak to myself or Miss Hawkins before you make your choices. Okay, thank you.